Commander Vex Thor's tentacles twitched with anticipation as the invasion fleet approached the blue-green planet. Earth, a primitive world with barely functional space technology, ripe for conquest. The Galactic Council had designated it a Class C civilization, meaning minimal resistance was expected. Initiating deep scans, announced Lieutenant Krell, his crystalline form pulsing with data streams. Carbon-based life forms, oxygen atmosphere, 70% water coverage. Standard parameters for an easy subjugation. The bridge crew of the Dominion's Claw chittered their agreement. After conquering 17 worlds, Earth would be their easiest victory yet. The inhabitants hadn't even colonized their own moon properly. Deploy reconnaissance drones, Vex Thor ordered. I want visual confirmation of their military capabilities before we. Commander, Krell's form flashed crimson. Detecting unusual biosignatures. Massive predatory fauna across multiple continents. These readings can't be correct. Explain. Sir, I'm reading creatures weighing up to 800 kilograms with natural weapons, claws, teeth, muscular density that exceeds. Commander, these are apex predators that make our homeworld's fiercest beasts look like larvae. Vex Thor dismissed the concern with a wave of his primary tentacle. Wildlife is irrelevant. Focus on the dominant species, these humans. The main viewscreen flickered to life, showing drone footage from a forested mountain region. A lone human male trudged through dense undergrowth, primitive projectile weapons slung across his back. He appeared to be tracking something. Pathetic, sneered weapons officer Zix. Look at him, soft skin. No natural armor, blunt teeth. How did such weak creatures become dominant? Then the forest exploded into motion. A massive brown creature, the database identified it as a grizzly bear, burst from the treeline. 800 pounds of muscle, claw, and fury charged directly at the human. The bridge crew collectively recoiled. On their worlds, encountering such a predator meant certain death. The human's reaction defied all logic. Instead of fleeing or freezing in terror, Marcus Rodriguez dropped his rifle and pulled out a knife. A knife, against a creature that could shred steel. Is he malfunctioning? Krell whispered. Marcus dove sideways as the bear swiped, its claws gouging trenches in the earth where he'd stood. He rolled, came up running, and, incomprehensibly, ran toward the bear. The creature reared up, towering 3 meters tall, roaring with a sound that made the bridge speakers crackle. Marcus feinted left, then dove right, sliding beneath the bear's massive paw. His knife flashed, drawing blood from the creature's side. The bear spun with impossible speed, but Marcus was already moving, using the terrain to his advantage. Tactical analysis, Vex Thor demanded, his voice tight. Subject is utilizing environmental awareness, predictive modeling, and, Commander, his neural activity is off the charts. He's calculating dozens of variables simultaneously: wind direction, footing, the bear's injury status, escape routes. The fight continued for 12 brutal minutes. Marcus took hits that would have pulverized any civilized species. A glancing blow that sent him flying into a tree, claw marks that painted his shirt crimson. But he kept fighting, kept thinking, kept adapting. Finally, bloodied and exhausted, Marcus managed to drive his knife deep into the bear's neck during a desperate grapple. The massive predator collapsed, and Marcus fell beside it, chest heaving. Then he did something that made the entire bridge crew question their sanity. He pulled out a communication device and said, "Hey Mike, gonna be late for dinner." "Yeah, another grizzly in Sector 7. "No, I'm fine, just need some stitches. Tell Anna to save me a plate." Casual. He was casual about nearly dying. "Commander," Krell's voice trembled. "I've been analyzing human history. They've survived ice ages, supervolcanic eruptions, plagues that killed half their population. They've fought wars with weapons that poisoned their own planet. They climb mountains for fun. They keep smaller predators as pets. They eat toxic plants for flavor. And," Zix added, pulling up more data, "this isn't even their military. This is a park ranger. A civilian who protects trees." Thor stared at the screen where Marcus was now field-dressing his wounds with the same knife he'd used to kill a super predator. The human was humming. "Set course for the Andromeda sector," the commander ordered quietly. "Mark Earth as a Class X death world. Do not approach." As the invasion fleet retreated, Krell asked, "Should we warn the Galactic Council?" Thor's tentacles curled in what his species recognized as pure fear. "Tell them humans don't just live on a death world. They thrive on it. They're not prey that learn to use tools. They're apex predators that learn to build spaceships." The fleet jumped to hyperspace, leaving Earth unconquered and unconquerable. Because any species that fought bears with knives and called it Tuesday was not a species to be trifled with.